and began her very first ride on the Underground Railroad. She walked and ran all the first night. At dawn, she made a burrow deep in the underbrush, crawled into it, and fell asleep, setting out again in the late afternoon. She climbed hills and struggled through swamps. She waded miles along a riverbed, knowing the bloodhounds couldn't follow her trail through water. At last, she came to her first underground station, a large farmhouse. And from there, she made her way across the border to Pennsylvania and to freedom. Harriet walked to Philadelphia, where she found a job and began saving a little money and enjoying her new freedom. Meanwhile, Sojourner Truth was having her share of problems as she went about practicing her freedom.
Old woman, you think your talk about slavery does any good? Why, I don't care any more for your talk or your cause than I do for the bite of a flea.
Maybe not, but the Lord willing, I'll keep you scratching.
How dare you put Negroes on the same level as whites? What sort of idiots do you take us for? Why, we all know that blacks are closer to the animal kingdom than whites, and therefore useful only as slaves. You hear that? Well, that's the Lord punishing you for all the lies you just told.
Don't be scared, child. That thunder out there ain't God's wrath. He ain't after me, and he especially ain't after you. The way you've been talking, the way I don't expect he's even heard of you. Now look, young man, you talk with hate pouring out your heart, but I talk with love pouring out of mine for both black and white. Matter of fact, one of the reasons I'm against slavery so much is because I want to keep the white folks who hold slaves from getting sent to hell.
There was nobody to welcome me to the land of freedom. I was a stranger in a strange land. My home still down there in the old cabin quarter with the old folks and my brothers and sisters. When I thinks about them down there, my joy of escaping leaves me. Soon as I gets me enough money, I's going back and leave my family north. I knows the way now. I knows what to do when it's raining and I can't see the North Star. I done it once alone, and with the help of the Lord, I'll do it again and again and again.
Harriet kept going back to the land of Egypt, as she called Maryland, leading more than 300 Negroes to freedom. In time, she came to know by heart all of the hazards on the long road to the north. She recognized every creek and cove and inlet, every neck of land, every hiding place, every curve in the road, every source of danger, every source of safety. She knew the people who lived in the farmhouses, knew which ones would welcome her and her passengers and offer food and rest, knew which ones would set out after her with guns and clubs. To her people, Harriet Tubman became a legend.
For children, I think twixt the black folks of the South and the women of the North all talking about women's rights. White man's going to be in a fix pretty soon. After all, Jesus taught you to honor both father and mother. Now all these white masters allows that women are dainty-bodied, dull-headed gossipers who don't deserve equal rights. But look at me. Look at my arms. I've been plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could best me. And aren't I a woman? I could work as hard and eat as much as any man when I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And aren't I a woman? I've borne 5 children and seen most all sold off into slavery. When I cried out with a mother's grief, none but Jesus heard. And aren't I a woman?
The Underground Railroad ain't no fancy joyride. It means walking and sometimes running and being hungry and sometimes jouncing up and down in the bottom of a farmer's wagon. It means crawling dry or rain through swamps and woods and briars, and hiding anywhere that the earth offers shelter from prying eyes and listening ears. It means never enough sleep, because the walking has to be done at night and the sleeping during the day. And always there's the hounds and the guns and the hooves fighting at your guts. But, brothers and sisters, at the end, there's the promised land.
During the Civil War, Harriet Tubman served as a scout, a spy, and a nurse for the Union forces. And Sojourner Truth went a-begging for food and funds for the boys of the 1st Michigan Volunteers Infantry, colored. After the war, Sojourner spent more than 2 years in Washington, D.C., teaching, preaching, nursing, counseling, and campaigning, doing everything she could to get the government to provide jobs and decent living conditions for the millions of blacks it had freed from the bonds of slavery. Harriet took to the platform, traveling throughout the East, speaking sometimes about the rights of women and sometimes about her work in the Civil War. But most of the time, people wanted to hear about her adventures in the Underground Railroad. Sojourner Truth died in 1883 at the age of 86 and was buried in Battle Creek, Michigan. And if Sojourner Truth had not believed so strongly in the justice of the struggle for black liberation, she would not have devoted her life to the cause of truth, and we would never have known her. Harriet Tubman died in 1913. She was over 90 and was buried in Auburn, New York. Of all her achievements, Harriet is best remembered as a conductor on the Underground Railroad, the railroad to freedom. A short, strong-willed woman held up by her faith in a living God, inspired by the belief that freedom was a right all men should enjoy.
And truth shall be my abiding name.
I'll never run my train off the track, and I'll never lose a passenger.
Way down in Egypt's land, tell old Pharaoh to let my people go.
The preceding program was made possible by a grant from the Ohio Department of Education.